Where are we?
Camp tour, Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. We're headed to go see the Knowles.
I'm trying to block out the sun with my big head.
And then we're headed to Bama, so it's a long day, but a fun day. So...
It's harder than you think.
Okay, we're ready. You're going.
I'm not throwing it.
I don't think you are. Throw it a little bit harder. A little bit.
How many days have you been bragging about you should have been a wide receiver?
First of all, I've been saying it for the last 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, approximately 10 years.
This is a gadget that the wide receivers at Florida State use. So
Test
let's
reaction
see.
time, you see it?
Test
So
reaction time.
we're gonna
So
throw
back
it up.
against the fence. Yep.
Come back out. Oh, it's a little stretchy.
Stretchy. Okay. Let's see how those
So
shake.
high.
Oh, throw it up. Good. Keep going. Good. I was just gonna say you're a natural. Too soon.
Too soon.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Maria, hello, hello.
Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you when you talk like that.
Here we go.
The Taylor road trip continues, and right now we're at Florida State. Maria Taylor alongside Holly Rowe. Guys, give us your introduction.
I'm Brian Burns, aka the Black Panther.
Hey, Wakanda forever.
This is my vibranium right here. I play defensive end and I'm a rising junior.
The Marcus Christmas, aka the OG, defensive tackle.
All right, the OG to market. It looked like you had something else to say when people start rubbing their hands together.
I know. I just like that Christmas and Holly go together. So
So Holly
together.
Christmas.
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, guys, walk us through kind of the changes that you've seen because you're under a brand new head coaching regime, and what's changed through maybe the first 4 or 5 practices that you've had at camp.
Honestly, it's just a faster tempo. Everything is fast. Everything is fast. I mean, it's a lot of fun with the music, so everybody's able to express their personality and able to celebrate. So I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Do you guys have options with the playlist? Because I noticed that it's really good.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Old School Friday, so that's my.
Tomorrow's Old School Friday. What's your best old school song?
Yeah, I cannot choose.
Can't choose?
Okay.
Nah, it's
Can't
too many.
choose. How would you describe the changes that you've seen so far?
The mentality of the players, everybody's locked in and focused, ready for the season.
Now we noticed that there's a speed limit sign and it just says fast, so that's the way that you guys have to go at all times. Does that mean conditioning's changed? Like what else has changed to get you guys ready to go fast all the time?
The speed limit thing that's just when we're running in practice.
Okay.
But when you get to that sign, you got to sprint.
No walking on it.
No walking.
So does the tempo from offense, because we watch out here, they're running plays about every 12 to 15 seconds. Does that carry over to the defensive energy?
Oh, most definitely, because if they make a big play, they're obviously going to go fast to score as quick as they can. And that's going to put us on the field faster. So the more that they score, the more we're on the field. You know what I'm saying? So it means it's going to be a tag team type deal.
All right, last season you guys never allowed more than 35 points from any opponent. How do you kind of maintain the level that you've displayed over the years? Or if not, like take the next step up on defense?
Really, the change in the defense is going to give us the opportunity to make those runs and pass percentages lower. So,
Give me the changes you've made on defense.
The changes is really the way that the defensive line come off. Well, from my perspective,
Okay.
the way the defensive line is coming off the ball, we're shooting off the ball. So it's really about to get off now instead of reading.
I see that the old school, I don't know if you guys know who Mickey Andrews is. Like you talk about OG, that's the real OG.
The original OG,
How much
okay.
are you watching like old tape, or I know Coach is having you watch some of the traditional stuff. Like, you're trying to marry the tradition and how we've done things with what's new now. So how are you merging both of those things?
Honestly, we just watched the Bowden Dynasty movie again, but the tradition and legacy has always been here. Taggart's actually just really enforcing it now. Like, you can see, like, as you said, Mickey's coming back, Charlie Ward, Dion, Peter Bower. It's Peter Ward, everything goes on and on. He's bringing back the tradition and the legacy that they've paved before us. So it's great to see them.
Does that help you feel like we have a dynasty to represent? We have the history to represent. Does that help you feel the weight of this jersey?
Yes, because we got a standard to meet, and we also want to make a new standard. So that's
all right, cool. Well, I have your first game against Virginia Tech, so just let everybody know what they're going to see from the Seminoles when they take the field here in Tallahassee.
That's confidential. Just stay tuned.
Oh, stay tuned. You got something coming. We got an OG. We got the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Florida State defense in the house.
Welcome to the Taylor Road Trip. This is Octavius Jackson here from Florida State University, checking in after a fall camp practice. Got my man Brian Burns right here. How you feeling, man?
Feel great. How you feel, dude?
I'm good. I want to ask you something, man. Everybody was talking about your freshman season. You know, you had like the most in the country, the most sacks in the country. Then sophomore year, you didn't do as well. And then towards the end of the year, you started to explode. What have you did this summer to make sure you get back to where you were?
The thing I did this summer was a process. You know, I took this process, I studied my film, I studied other people's as far as Sweat, Vic Beasley, anybody you can name. I studied these people, I took their game and took every little piece of each and every one of them and put it into my own to make my own type of game that I'm implementing into this defense.
Okay. And how do you feel about this new scheme? I know we got some new coaching staff. How do you feel about the new scheme?
I feel great about it. I mean, what better is I can pin my ears back and go get the quarterback. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, but let me flip it on you. How do you feel about your new coach, Coach Woody?
I love Coach Woody, man. He's very interactive with me. You feel me? He calls me, checks up on me, makes sure I'm all right on and off the field. So I feel like Coach Woody was a great addition to the staff, and he was a great addition for me.
So another question: do you think this is an improvement from the old staff?
Oh, I don't want to backlash anybody, but I would say so.
You would say so?
For me personally, and the team.
Give me reasons why, sir.
I just feel like this staff can relate more to us. They can relate to us. They're more energetic, and they just allow us to be us. They allow us to have fun.
You hear it first. He called the old staff born. That's what he said.
Hey, I ain't say that. Look, I'm chilling. I ain't say nothing. That was all me, bro.
All the way up.
I think I'm worried for
Okay.
Welcome to Taylor Road Trip. This is Octavius Jackson checking in after fall camp practice number 4 with the Florida State Seminoles. Got my man Cam Akers right here. True sophomore running back. How do you feel after you coming back from a 1,000-yard season, breaking Dalvin Cook's freshman rushing record? Do you feel the pressure? How do you feel going into season 2?
I don't feel no pressure. I just feel like I got to go out and do what I got to do to help the team win, you know, and everything else to fall in line.
And what is everything? What I know this new offense is West Coast. You guys are doing a lot.
Yeah.
What can the fans expect from you as far as moving positions?
A lot of big plays, and a lot of open space, and a lot of touchdowns.
Make sure you got that.
A lot of touchdowns.
A lot of them. But getting back to that, how do you feel like this new offense is fitting you? 'Cause I know it's different from Jimbo's.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like it's fitting you? I know you feel like you can make plays, but how do you feel like it? You feel me?
Well, me personally, I feel like I can fit in any offense because I feel like I'm a complete back. If that's.
I agree.
I feel like this offense just allowed me to make a lot more big plays, you know.
Right.
And I feel like that's what I'm gonna do.
All right. Now I got a question.
What's up?
When we were playing against the first team defense, who you worried about the most?
Nobody. Nobody. At all.
Hey, that's
not
crazy.
worried about anybody.
That's crazy. Hey, you see? Hey, get me Bird. You see his face? Really?
Not worried about anybody.
Really? Hey. All right.
No one. There they go right here. Y'all, there they go.
Real DBU. The real DBU.
Nah, you a flodger. You a flodger, bro. You stay where you at.
Last question when you ask him, how does the tempo running the plays this quick affect running backs?
All right. How does the tempo and running the plays this fast affect the running back?
As far as endurance, it make us a lot more tired. But as far as a lot more open spaces, it allows a lot more big plays to develop and a lot more seams for the running back to.
And I agree. Definitely going against this spring and so far this camp. Yeah. It's gonna get you tired now. This is Dontavious Jackson here. Welcome to Maria Taylor, ESPN. Checking in for Florida State fall camp practice 4.
Yep.
It was a long one.
Yeah, what happened today? You guys had your shells on for the first time. How'd it feel?
Yeah, it was a lot of contact, a lot of physical play, and that's what we expected. You know what I'm saying? Offense, defense getting after each other. People got attitudes.
Ooh.
If you get beat, the next person gonna get mad. So it's just, it is what it is. Competition.
Have we had any really good fights between the offense and defense? I know it gets heated, so I just want to know.
Yeah, it was a good fight yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to hold hands after though. They had to hold hands and walk the field. Yeah, you know how we go. You know how we get down in the trenches. You get physical. Things get intense. It's hot outside. It's a long camp.
So pause. Did Willie actually make you guys hold hands?
Oh yeah. If you fight, you're holding hands and you're walking around the field.
I love that. Okay, what else has changed since Willie Taggart's taken over? This is your first camp with him at the helm.
Right. I would say just the intensity as far as like the practice. We're more into it because of the environment. It's just more hype. The music gets us going.
Yeah.
The coaches are so energetic. You feel me? They encourage us to celebrate after big plays.
I love it.
As far as in the past, we didn't really celebrate, which is good stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying?
With the thumbs up.
You feel me?
Now what do you do when you celebrate?
We run down there, we jump up, we got little handshakes. You feel me? We going at the offense, we yelling at them. Oh yeah, it's your turn now. What's up? It just brings the competition out of each competitor on the team. So I love it.
Okay, so I have your first game against Virginia Tech, and you're telling me that this is a new look Florida State Seminole football team. So what can fans look forward to seeing when y'all take the field in Tallahassee?
The fans, when we take this field on September 3rd, you're gonna see a lot of energy. You're gonna see charismatic plays. You're gonna see a lot of touchdowns from our offense. And you're going to see a lot of physical and trash talk from our defense. A lot of physical play and a lot of trash talk from our defense. That's a promise.
Will they see a win?
Oh, yeah. It's a win. I promise you.
Hit them again with, that's a promise.
That's a promise.
Dontavious Jackson coming for my job. You better go. That was so good. Yay.
I don't want to get you all sweaty. I'll be too sweaty at practice.
It's fine. It's fine. All right, Dontavious, you did all the interviews today. How do you feel?
I feel good. We had a great practice, great interviews. And it's Florida State. It don't get no better.
He's ready to flex on somebody. I'll be back for Virginia Tech. We'll see. Let me get him all the way. Hey.
Thought our guys made a lot of improvement in the spring, and they saw that within themselves. And just seeing the way the guys around the office now, watching film on their own, and hearing guys when we go eat together, hear them talk about what they did out at 7-on-7 and competing. It says a lot about our guys, but more important to me, it says they're getting comfortable with what we're doing. I think everybody now is just fired up to get back out and show. I think the players want to show us how much they've improved.
Taylor road trip continues here at Florida State. We have a brand new head coach, Willie Taggart, in Seminole country. This is pretty exciting to be here and see your practice today. What did you think?
First of all, it was very fast. It was really energetic. And we talked to some of your guys afterwards, and they talked about the staff, how much they relate to you, how much energy you've infused. So I'm kind of curious to hear, what was the goal that you set out for you and your staff to implement immediately when you took the role?
Well, we wanted to have the culture that we wanted to have here. You don't necessarily know what it was like before, but I know what my vision for our program and what I wanted to. And big thing for me, for our kids, was to come together. I got a sense when I got here they wasn't really close. A lot of guys didn't like each other, and it's hard to win ball games if you don't like each other. So from day one, we've been trying to get everyone to come together, be one team, players and coaches. I mean, we eat dinner together, breakfast together. We do a lot together, and not just asking our players to do it, but coaches and all. And I think that's where it all starts. Once we know that each and every last coach care about the players, players care about the coaches, then things will start rolling in the right way. We have some good football players. we just got to get them all to come together, and play for one another.
I feel like that's been a little bit of a theme. We just met a handfuls of guys out of practice that came with you from Western Kentucky. You have this nucleus of people who've been around you since the beginning, so you know what loyalty and brotherhood means. How are you showing that by example?
Well, I think it all starts with our staff. When I hired this staff, I didn't rush to it or anything. I was blessed to come here, and they were still in the bowl game. All the other jobs I've taken over, they wasn't in the bowl game, so I got to see these guys practice in meetings, how they take coaching, and got a good sense of what I felt they needed coming in. So when hiring our coaches, I wanted to get great mentors. I felt like our players needed really good mentors to show them how to do the things we want them to do and not expect them to just do it, but show them and teach them how. So I hired the coaches and kind of killed two birds with one stone by we had to rush and recruit. So there wasn't one coach on the road recruiting by himself. He was always recruiting with another coach. And the purpose behind that was to not only go out and recruit kids, but for those guys to bond, because a lot of them didn't know each other. And it worked out well because those guys were really close. And by the time we got back here with our current players, they seeing a staff that's together already and enjoying each other. And it's an easy sell when we're trying to get them to come together when they can see us the same way.
Brian Burns was telling us that you had the team watch the Bobby Bowden documentary and how you kind of infused, hey, this is what Florida State is, this is what people know about the legacy of Florida State to this young generation. I mean, talk about that focus and why you feel as though it's important for them to understand their legacy.
Well, I just think we lost that somehow, and again, I know growing up as a Florida State fan, that's all I knew, and that's what made me love Florida State so much. And I wanted to make sure our guys understand the guys that came before them, the guys that really made this program what it is, and our guys, they know the recent history and the recent success that we've had, but they didn't really know before then. And one of our players, after watching the Bowden Dynasty, he's like, Coach, I didn't know any of that. I was born in '97. So for me, it's like, in order for them to really understand, I mean, I know when I watched the Bowden Dynasty, it's like, wow, you get a good sense of what this program is all about. And I felt like our guys, for whatever reason, we lost pride in Florida State University, and we needed to get it back. And the way to get it back is to understand the past, and the guys that came before them, and then try to live up to those expectations. And I think after watching that movie, they all realize where I'm coming from when I bring guys back, and it's now they can relate it together. When I first got here, I went to the bowl game. Deion Sanders and I, we walked through the hallway together. And I'm thinking the guys, I'm like, whoa, that's prime time. And they walk by like, what's up, Coach T?
No.
Are you kidding me? You just see Deion Sanders sitting, walking beside me, But it let me know then, just, again, we can't take it for granted and think they just know what it was like. Again, like one of the kids say, they were born in '97. They don't understand. They didn't see Deion play. They didn't see probably Deion play in the NFL.
NFL, yeah.
So I didn't want to take that for granted and wanted to make sure they understand those guys that came before them. And getting Coach Bowden over here was really important to me because our players were missing out on a living legend right here in town, and just didn't feel that was fair to them, to try to get him around, and that one day they can tell their kids they got a chance to meet Bobby Bowden.
It is. I mean, for those of us that I'm going to do it back in the day when we were young and started covering Florida State back in the day. I mean, it was the legends. I covered Coach Bowden for most of my career, and Mickey Andrews. So I'm out at practice today, and there's Mickey Andrews. Like, to me, is like the legend defensive coordinator that was the OG kind of superstar defensive coordinator. And now your kids get to be around that. Teams that he built, and then I'm sure guys that he coached are going to come back, and it's all going to come together.
It is, in the spring game we had over 300 former players back for the spring game, which was awesome, and it was great because I had an opportunity to talk to them all, and getting here, I kept hearing how so many guys hadn't been bad for whatever reason, and I told them all that's my opportunity to tell every single one of them, this is their school, they helped build this. I don't care who the head coach is, you should support and be there for your football team, your school, your university. And I got a chance to tell them all that at once, and that was the goal because I think they all just need to continue to have pride in their school. It's a great school and they helped build it. So there's no reason, and they shouldn't let any coach or anybody take them from that, and making sure that we all are together and we represent Florida State the right way.
We spent some time too with the Cam Akers. We know about Nooney. You've got some great weapons on offense, but Florida State was a pro-style offense for so many years, and you come in, everyone assumes you're just going to run like the super fast spread. Now that you've been with your personnel for a while, you're in camp, what will the offense look like on September 3rd when you roll out?
It's funny, everyone says spread, and you think spread out, throwing the ball all over, and we're going to spread it out, we're going to do it, but we're going to run the football, we're going to utilize the entire football field, horizontally, vertically, and try to get the ball in our ball players' hand. We have some talented players here, and we have a lot of them, so we got to find different ways to get the ball, and we'll tempo on our watch. It's not like trying to get 100 plays or anything, but we're going to tempo to create some explosive plays, and that's something we live off of is explosive plays, and you got some talented players. We got to make sure as coaches we don't mess them up and allow them to be talented.
But not all spreads are created equal. I think that is a misnomer. Is your spread's different than the Kevin Sumlin spread or whoever spread? But what will? It looks like your quarterback position. You've got some zone read stuff, or you've got some the quarterback run game. But then the throw. I think you've got versatility there. Mm-hmm. So how do you showcase that?
Well, it all depends on the defense, and really it doesn't depend on the defense. It depends on us. Rather than letting the defense dictate what we can do. We formationally do things, so they got to dictate off of what we do. And our guys always have answers on every play. The quarterback has an answer every play, and again, just try to simplify things and make it easy for them, and make it easy for our offensive line, so they don't have to think much, so they can go out and play. I'm big with our offensive line.
What did I say at practice today? So this is famous. Like Nick Saban will tease me. He's like, I don't know why you're always down there watching the offensive line. That is so. And so I was like, he's over here with the offensive line with your whistle, and you were like patting him. I was like, he cares. He cares. Like that was my favorite moment of practice. Like you're into it.
That's where it all starts, and we try to make it simple for them so they can play. When talking with our coaches, I always tell them that. Don't give our guys more than one if.
Like it.
So they can just play. As soon as you say if they do this, if they do this, if they do that, you slow them down. They start thinking. As soon as they hear that play, they think about that meeting, if this, and by that time it's too late. So we try to get our guys one if. You line up there, and if he does this is what you're gonna do. But keeping it simple for those guys.
But what you don't do is give them a but. I noticed the sign, no excuses.
I like that.
Blame no one. I loved the signage out at practice.
Do something.
It's like kids these days, everybody knows they're a little more entitled, or there are a lot of excuses. Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't this. They didn't. You're like, no. Mm-hmm. Where did that come from? I loved it.
Well, that's how I live my life. Never made any excuse for anything. If I wanted something, I had to go get it. My mom always told me, you got to do what you got to do in order to get what you want. So I think that's part of the problem. Is so many times we make excuses and we miss out on opportunities. Because we make excuses, or blaming someone else. And if our guys understand that, they'll start having more success. And it's great to have it out there. So whenever they come up to me with an excuse, I just point to the sign. I don't want to hear it. So and our guys are starting to get it because I won't allow them making excuses. Because they all are capable, and I don't think I'm doing them any favors when I allow them to make excuses for anything. And whether it's on the football field, socially, academically, we're not going to do this. It's my job to hold them accountable to doing the things that they say they were going to do when they came here. And I think part of blaming no one, making no excuses, and doing something will help them, because we live in a do something world. If you want something, you got to do something. So I stay with that. When they ask me for something, the first thing they know what they're going to get. They're going to do something. You want something, do something. If you do something, I'll do something.
All right, Coach. Well, I've got your first game. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We're looking forward to seeing Florida State do something on the football field in Tallahassee. It's going to be fun. They've got a garnet and gold opportunity in front of them with their brand new head coach, Willie Taggart. And keep a lookout for the new look Knowles.
Do something.
Well, we're about to get real. Taylor and Rowe'd is hitting the road for 5.5 hours because our flights have been
canceled. Yep.
So Tuscaloosa, here we come. Eventually.
Yes. 3 schools down.